what is it, how do you view the learning environment in this class in XB compared to a traditional kind of class?
I think it's a lot more personal. You get the attention of 12 people looking at how you're doing and what you're doing, and in the memos you'll see what they think about what you're doing, and you get a lot more opinions on that, and you can take the aggregate of that and see where you actually are, and that's different than just having one person thinking, like a professor thinking, oh, you're not, you're getting bad scores because you're lazy or something. But when you have more people, they can hone in more on the problem and help you find ways to improve yourself.
I thought what was really cool, you were kind of talking about the differences. Like we would all read the same thing. We'd come in and say, this is what that meant to me, and the next person, this is what that meant to me, and and it was just differences and opinions on a subject. And there was times where like we don't agree with the writer. I think this is how it really is, and we could talk about that, or we could present about that. I remember they were talking about with sports, that it's a lie, that statistically that you give it to a guy who's hot, it doesn't make any statistics sense, and we didn't agree with that or whatever. So, and there was a lot of things in the class like that, and I thought that was cool that you're not being tested where what is the right answer. You got to remember, well, this is what the book said, so that's how it is. It was.
We were able to question
the
material, which when we question it, and we get the feedback from different other people, the collaborative learning there, we come to a middle ground, and then we're all seem satisfied with the end result. And like the shooting the basket, that was kind of shooting who's hot. You give the person, in my personal opinion, you give the person who's shooting the hottest, no matter what their actual statistics are in the game. You give them the ball at the end to try to make the end shot, not the best shooter overall. Because LeBron James, he's really good at pretty much nailing every shot. But if he's having an off game or something, and one of the weaker players on their team has the ball and there's carrying the team for that night, well, then you give the ball to him at the end to shoot the shot. You don't give it to LeBron. I don't know. That's just kind of my take on it.
I thought that was interesting too, is that, normally we just get, like I read a book, I relate that to my opinions, my perception, my life. So, so I relate the reading to that, and then that's what I walk away with is the opinions I already had and the perspective that I already had. Whereas in this class I could come in and I could, if I could be willing to, I can learn from other people, And so that was something for me too in this class was, trying to accept what other people were teaching me. Because I think a lot of times, you hear millions of things all day, and there's very few things that you let get into your head, or that you accept from other people. And it gave us a chance too in this class to open up to other people's ideas. So I thought that was a really cool part of this class too. And sometimes multiple people would have different perspectives on something than you would have. And you can go, okay, well, maybe we're all right.
I think one of the two main discussions that we had in dealing with this were ethics and fairness. I mean, those with the people and the variety of backgrounds we had in this class, those conversations could have lasted forever, because a lot of times there is no right answer. We all have our different opinions and how we form them, but it is important to realize other people have the right to think how they want to think. And if you're unwilling to accept that, you're not going to be a very effective manager.
I thought the regression to the mean was the best one ever. As I came in, I was like, well, I forget what I was saying. I think it was that, if a person was great, they were going to have to regress to the mean, and Steve was like, no, maybe maybe people have their own averages, and then Ray was just like, most people are above average, but it's just circumstances that make people above average. And I was just like, okay, all right.
You know, it's good learning those, the different opinions, how people view things. Because, you know, I didn't have any input to the regression of the mean conversation because I was lost on it. But hearing your guys' three different views was really kind of interesting to actually see on and hear and discuss.